the 1947 murder of 22-year-old Hollywood hopeful in Los Angeles has never been solved. A way that the mother reportedly thought that it was a mannequin at first glance. Despite whoever did that to be, literally covering up tracks like that.
I told you I caught the ghost on camera?
Yeah.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Welcome back.
I'm Erin Bell.
And I'm Kenny Page.
And we are Potty Mouth. Kenny PP has a good one for that's her contact info. But no, she's got one for Black Dahlia. So if you have not heard about it, you're gonna find out. This is a content warning. This is graphic stuff. I don't know what she's gonna read.
Murder mystery.
I know she's reading it, so I'm getting my words in now.
Yeah.
But it's funny, the first time I heard about it was actually from American Horror Story, and that's how I heard about this story. But I'm really excited to hear the details of it. I love, if you don't know, I love everything horror and like murder mysteries and learning all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited. So
this is actually from FBI.gov. I got onto their website and I was scrolling through trying to find some factual information about some of this stuff, and I have heard about this before, and then I brought it up to Erin, and Erin's like, oh, American Horror. I was like, that's probably where I heard it from. I just don't remember anything from watching it. So we decided to do an episode on this because it's the little article. It's not very long, but it gives enough information, and it gives the police bulletin and everything, and we can also add that in there so you guys can also see it, the pictures of her and all of that. So without further ado, are you ready for some Black Dahlia? All right. So this is the 1947 murder of 22-year-old Hollywood hopeful in Los Angeles has never been solved. So, on the morning of January 15th, 1947, a mother taking her child for a walk in Los Angeles neighborhood stumbled upon a gruesome sight. The body of a young woman sliced clean in half at the waist. See that?
I knew that much.
Yeah.
Which I feel terrible for them to have to be traumatized, especially that child.
Oh, yeah.
Girl, that's traumatizing.
Especially, not knowing. She thought that it was a mannequin, and not knowing that it was a real body. The body was just a few feet away from the sidewalk and posed in such a way that the mother reportedly thought that it was a mannequin at first glance. Despite the extensive mutilation and cuts on the body, there wasn't a drop of blood at the scene, indicating that the young woman had been killed elsewhere. Which, that's just... We were talking about how mind-boggling that is, because whoever did that to be, literally covering up tracks like that with... It's just crazy. That's just, like I said, mind-boggling. The ensuing investigation was led by the LA Police Department. The FBI was asked to help, and it quickly identified the body. Just 56 minutes. In fact, after getting blurred fingerprints via sound photo, a primitive fax machine used by news services from Los Angeles. The young woman turned out to be a 22-year-old Hollywood hopeful named Elizabeth Short, later dubbed the Black Dahlia by the press for her rumored penchant for sheer black clothes and for the Blue Dahlia movie out at the time. Short's prints actually appeared twice in the FBI's massive collection. More than 100 million were on file at the time. First, she had applied for a job as a clerk at the commissary of the Army's Camp Cook in California in January of 1943. Second, she had been arrested by the Santa Barbara police for underage drinking 7 months later. The borough also had her mugshot in its files and provided it to the press. In support of LA police, the FBI ran record checks on potential suspects and conducted interviews across the nation. Based on early suspicions that the murderer may have had skills in dissection because the body was so cleanly cut, agents were also asked to check out a group of students at the University of Southern California Medical School. And in a tantalizing potential break in the case, the Bureau searched for a match to the fingerprints found on an anonymous letter that may have been sent to authorities by the killer, but the prints were not on FBI files. Who killed Black Dahlia and why? It's a mystery. The murder has never been found, and given how much time has passed, probably will never be, and the legend grows. That's just crazy. How I was also talking about how mind-boggling it is that there are people out there who do such things and they get away with it for like the rest of their life and they never find out.
Well, back then I think there was just also like lack of evidence.
Right.
Like you didn't have cameras, you didn't have all this stuff, where nowadays it's like there's so many ways that people get caught.
But even then, how do you go your whole entire life without slipping up to somebody about it or without being weird about it? Like, there has to be, like, did they threaten those people? Like, I'll murder you too if you don't, if you ever tell anybody or slip up about it. Like, I feel like a lot of people in stories like that I have found, they end up slipping up to somebody by boasting about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, really? And then they put in an anonymous tip and so on and so forth. But, like,
their ego gets the best of them.
Oh, yeah. Like, I saw, there was one where, don't quote me, I think it was his parents or his, like, grandparents. He cemented them in the garage, and he was telling a friend, like, he killed them and cemented them in their garage. And he was telling a friend, yeah. And he was telling his friend, and they were telling them about it, and they came to investigate him, and he's like, yeah, it was 12 years ago. And I was like, what? And they're like, and he was like, they're in the garage, and they're like, we're out in the garage under the cement. And I was like, what? Like, it's crazy. There is a daily police bulletin, official publication of Police Department, City of LA, California, wanted information on Elizabeth Short between dates January 9th and 15th of 1947. So it shows a picture of her, and it says, description, female, American, 22 years, 5'6", 118 pounds, black hair, green eyes, very attractive, bad lower teeth, fingernails chewed too quick. This subject found brutally murdered, body severed and mutilated, January 15th, 1947, at 39th in Norton. Subject on whom information wanted last seen January 9th, 1947, when she got out of a car at Biltmore Hotel. At the time, she was wearing a black suit, no collar on coat, probably cardigan style, white fluffy blouse, black suede high-heeled shoes, nylon stockings, white gloves, full-length beige coat, carried black plastic handbag with 2 handles. They got into depth about this. It was a 12x8 purse in which she had black address book. Subject readily makes friends with both sexes and frequented cocktail bars and night spots. On leaving car, she went into the lobby of the Biltmore and was last seen there. So that was like the complete... And this was released on Tuesday, January 21st of 1947.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. There are some other, like, details on her, but it's basically just repeating the same thing because there's nothing else about it. It's literally...
they don't have any...
Yeah. It was just about the information conveyed to, like, the assistants and so on and so forth. Yeah. That's crazy. Like I said, it's just wild. reading, seeing, hearing people out there that just never got caught.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Especially, like, it could literally be, like, anyone. I mean, granted, with it being that date, they could still be alive. They could be dead. They also could have been murdered. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah,
I wonder.
You don't know where they're at.
Right. And it's just, like, wondering if it'll ever come to light, if, like, before they die, they read, like, a letter being like, I'm the one who did it. Like, then it could be solved. But there's just online records of her birth certificate, her physical descriptions when she was found, results of her record checks on potential subjects, and our interviews across the nation, although names are often blacked out. They did get a lot of letters from private citizens claiming to know the culprit. This is all archived material from the FBI website. It may contain outdated information and links that no longer function, but it's still from the FBI page. There is something that came up 2 months ago. Do we finally know who murdered the Black Dahlia? This is from people.com. So, I'll obviously put in the people.com website, like the link. Who killed the Black Dahlia? Revisiting Elizabeth Short's unsolved murder 70 years ago today, and why a retired detective believes that his father committed the crime. So, she lived in multiple places across the city while working various jobs. Several men who have since recalled enjoying Short's company, taking her on dates, and offered her gifts. She struggled financially, but always seemed to come up with money for rent and other necessities. In December of 1946, just weeks before her murder, Short left LA for San Diego. She allegedly told friends that she was scared but didn't explain why, and immediately moved. When she arrived in San Diego, she met another young woman named Dorothy French who allowed her to stay with her family. 2 men and a woman came to the home looking for her. Upon hearing about the visitors, she became very frightened and panicky, refusing to see them. They eventually left, and she decided to relocate. So, this is all. It says that it's all from Dorothy. After Short's body was discovered, the LA Police Department launched an investigation which ran until 1950, when it was shut down according to 48 Hours. Over 3 years, the LAPD received dozens of clues, leads, and false confessions, but ultimately it all yielded no substantial results. As months passed, the investigation continued, and the police ruled out suspects. Still, the media continued to extensively cover the murder with baseless claims. In 1949, a grand jury convened to discuss the inability of LAPD's homicide unit to solve murders, during which Short's death was further investigated. In front of the grand jury, Detective Harry Hansen, who was assigned to the case, said in a sworn testimony that he still believed a medical man was behind the crime because of how her body was severed, per the Los Angeles Times. The trial led further investigation, interviews with friends, family, and suspects, but there was no additional leads on the case.
Yeah, that's what I heard, was that whoever did it was medically inclined.
Oh, yeah.
Because of how she was cut.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Several people remained suspects until their deaths, including nightclub owner Mark Hansen, who knew her. Through the years, people have continued to investigate the case, including Detective Hansen, who searched for Short's killer for 23 years until his retirement.
Aww.
My only regret is that I never solved the murder of Elizabeth Short, he said in 1968, per the United Press International. While there are numerous theories about Short's murder, one of the most highly suspected culprits is Dr. George Hodel. It's Hodel, Hodel. A gynecologist who had a clinic in LA. He was known to throw parties for Hollywood's rich and famous and was rumored to be dating Short before her death per 48 Hours. Hoddle was initially labeled as a suspect in 1949 after he was arrested for allegedly assaulting his teenage daughter. Although acquitted, his name was brought forth as a potential subject in the Black Dahlia case. He was listed as one of the few remaining primary suspects when the case was discussed before a grand jury later that year. During that time, authorities wiretapped Hoddle's home and recorded him making jarring statements, seemingly confessing to the 1945 death of his former secretary, Ruth Spaulding, as well as suspicious comments about Short's murder, Spaulding dying of a drug overdose. Supposing I did kill the Black Dahlia, they couldn't prove it now. They can't talk to my secretary anymore because she's dead, Hoddle said in the recordings. Killed her, maybe I did kill my secretary.
Jesus.
And it's wild because stuff like that nowadays, I feel like they would arrest them right on the spot. Like, just, like, because they're like, that's enough, like, even though, like, it would...
basically admitting, so...
Yeah. Hoddle eventually relocated to the Philippines, living there for the next 4 decades. Much of the information about his status as a suspect was not publicly known until his son Steve, a former LAPD detective and private investigator, began looking into his father's involvement in the murder. When Hoddle died in 1999, Steve found a photo in his father's belongings that appeared to be Short. While it has remained unconfirmed of the photo is actually Short, in his years of research and investigation, Steve has come across other pieces of evidence tying his father to the murder, including 5 witnesses and newspapers describing him as Short's boyfriend. He also had formal training as a surgeon at the University of California in San Francisco. On top of that, Steve had a handwriting expert discovered eerie similarities between his father's writing and the letter sent to the Examiner in 1947. He also found receipts for bags of cement purchased by his father just days before Short's death, the same brand as the empty bag of cement found near the corpse. Then in 2018, Steve told the South Pasadenan that he had uncovered a 70-year-old letter from a former police informant who had written that Short was killed by a man named G.H. Although LAPD looked into Steve's research, they chose not to pursue his leads. He believes his father was friendly with the officers and they were protecting him. Still, some officials believe that he may have cracked the case. I told Steve if his father was still alive, I would have filed murder charges against him, LAPD Deputy District Attorney Steve K. told People. His evidence was very persuasive.
So it's probably him.
That sounds like it.
Because for him to be talking about it, like, nonchalantly.
Yeah. Especially if they wiretapped the house and he was just like,
yeah, he's just talking
I could have.
I think he did it personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that to me is just so freaking crazy. Because, like, how do you not find the murderer?
Right.
Or, like, how do you essentially find them and then, like, not say anything? Like, how does that...
Right.
Like, nah, we don't have enough evidence, even though he basically admitted because we tapped into his house.
Yeah.
It's not him. What do you mean?
Especially, like, the cement bags, too. Like...
There's multiple. I don't know how much evidence, essentially, you need for it to not be coincidental.
Right. It's... Especially...
Like, the cement bags, maybe. But him saying, yeah, my baby did it.
Yeah, that's like, kind of like
him, he's taunting.
Like, he's chuckling,
he's
like, about
taunting.
it.
Yeah, he's like, haha, lol, no one's ever gonna find out.
Right. Especially him being a surgeon, a gynecologist, like... It's just wild. Like, that just leaves so many open books. Because it said that it was just her torso that was found, like, no legs. It said, she was severed in half.
It was just her torso, so, like, it was, like, right above, I think it was, like, her waist, essentially.
So, him being gynecologist...
I don't know what the point is, maybe just to be easier to carry. I don't understand the point of that. I'm pretty sure that they were together, that's why the lady thought she was a mannequin.
That's right. But
So
I just never. I just saw that she was severed in half and that there was no drop of blood. So I don't. That's mind-boggling. Like she was just cut in half. Like there was no like did he drug her? Like they didn't do any in depth.
Not that the American Horror Story is factual, but in the thing it was like, I don't know if she went in for an or whatever because she wanted to be famous, whatever, and the baby was gonna stop her. It was something like she was essentially under. He just drugged her to put her under, but that's what he did for all his patients. So he put her under, perceived to her, and then she didn't wake up because she was too drugged.
Right.
And so he ended up sawing her in half, and then he had put her in put her out, whatever, took her to that place. So obviously I don't know that that's fucked. Obviously that's not necessarily true.
Right.
But that's how American Horror Story depicted it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wonder if maybe that was like their conclusion. You know what I mean?
Especially because since he was a gynecologist.
Yep, this guy was a doctor. So, I mean, in my opinion, because yeah, especially back then, abortions were like, hell knows.
Yeah.
Like they're like, you have an abortion. So like back then it was a lot more. I feel like it was stricter than it is now. It's a lot more accepted now than it was then. But
crazy.
Yeah, I don't know that. I've always been like fascinated with that story. I think mostly just because of how peculiar it was, and then the fact that like American Horror Story like made their own version or edition of it or whatever. But
yeah,
nonetheless sad.
I feel like the ones that are, I feel like murder mysteries are very interesting.
Jarrett, you're gonna get beat. I swear to God. He literally was on the stairs and he popped his head slowly and then pulled it back. Jarrett, do you remember this morning? Huh? This morning? When I told you I caught the ghost on camera? Yeah. That's why you did that, isn't it, you prick? No, I did that because I thought it would be funny. Okay, hold on. Let's pause this. Jarrett, come here.
Did you show him yet?
No, he was half dead. Come here. Just tuck under. Beanie knocked it out, so I had to tuck under. Tuck under. You'll be on camera, but it's fine. I had to watch out for the camera.
We can cut it out.
Beanie bopped it with her I want you to listen. Keep a reaction in it. I want you to listen very closely. Okay?
Mind you, there's just more than a video that gives.
Just relax, honestly, because there's not much.
Listen. Wait for it. Wait for knocking.
I might play Black Dahlia again. We'll see, but.
Wait.
I was playing for a good bit there.